Hello and welcome to the Pet Sustainability Coalition final webinar in our Employee Engagement webinar series. I'm Caitlin Bolton and I'm the Executive Director of the Pet Sustainability Coalition. Our mission is to transform the pet industry toward accelerated environmental and social sustainability. And we do this in three primary ways: education, inspiration, and acceleration to really help our members move along in their journey for sustainability. But today I'm really going to be focusing on our education benefit, and that's part of our webinar series through our toolkit and website. In the past, we've had some incredible speakers who have joined us, including WeSpire, the online platform for employee engagement. We've also heard from Planet Dog, who used our Sustainability Lens module, and Sterling Consulting, who has facilitated this activity with many of our members. But today, we have some very exciting speakers as well. We are joined by White Wave Foods, who is home to Horizon Organics, Silk, and Earthbound Farms, to name a few that you might know, and also Westpaw Design, who you're probably fairly familiar with, who is a maker of hard goods in the pet product sector. But before I hand it over to them, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about the tools and resources that you have at your fingertips and where you can find these webinars once they're recorded. Here you see a picture of the toolkit on our website. Now, the toolkit is a suite of tools that has all sorts of education and resources in lots of different sustainability categories. So you see a few here: the business case, the supply chain, sustainability strategy, building efficiency, employee engagement. And along the bottom there, you can also see a selection of webinars that are available to you right on our website. If you dig a little deeper and actually get into the toolkit, you can see that there's a Learning Center, an Action Center, and a Resource Center. Now, the picture you see here is the Action Center, and you can see there's a whole section on employee engagement. You can find this at petsustainability.org/PIST. If you click on employee engagement, it'll take you even further into a suite of tools that you can use to actually customize an employee engagement project inside of your company. So jump online and check this out if you're ready to get started. And if you want more information, you can also jump into our Resource Center, which you can find at rebelmouse.com/PIST. And this just shows you kind of the home screen of the employee engagement section of our resources. So you can see there's webinars here, there's TEDx recordings, there's reports on why sustainability and employee engagement is important. And there's also an additional webinar over here featured from our partners at Natural Capitalism Solutions that helps drive the business case for employee engagement. So jump on, check out all of these tools and resources, but I also want to hand it over to our guests today because they're such incredible speakers. So I am proud to introduce to you Deanna Bratter from White Wave Foods. She is the Director of Corporate Sustainability, and she drives the vision of leadership at White Wave's sustainability efforts while developing and integrating sustainability strategies and goals to fulfill their business objectives. Deanna strives to integrate her personal passion for making the world a better place through leadership, education, innovation, and enhancing the potential held by companies successfully engaged in sustainability. Deanna, thank you so much for your time today, and I will now hand it over to you.
Everybody, my name is Deanna Bratter, and Caitlin, I appreciate the introduction. Excited to speak with you all. I know I'm in a bit of a different industry with food for humans, and wanted to take just a quick moment to introduce you to White Wave Foods. So White Wave is a company with about 4,500 employees globally. Our main manufacturing operations are in the U.S. We have 17 manufacturing plants. And we have brands that are ranked #1 across our portfolio and platform. So Caitlin mentioned Silk plant-based beverages, as well as So Delicious and Vega, which is a protein bar supplement company. We also have premium dairy products in mostly in the organic space with Wallaby Organic Yogurt and Horizon Organic Dairy and Snacks, International Delight Coffee Creamer in that portfolio, and then a whole array of organic produce in greens and vegetables. And then we have a European soy brand as well. So if you want to go ahead to the next slide. WhiteWave is what I would call a mission-driven company. We have a diverse set of mission, well, we have a clear mission and a diverse set of values. So changing the way the world eats for the better is our mission. And if I was going to sort of talk to companies who are working to establish a sustainability engagement platform, I'd really say that the core of this is making sustainability part of who you are and how you operate as a company. If you advance there, Caitlin, you can see the values for the company and see how sustainability is really driven into the values. And I had a senior executive tell me when I joined WhiteWave nearly 11 years ago now that if you ever have a question about your day-to-day job or your day-to-day operations or faced with a challenge, look to your values to try to answer that. And I think if an organization really sets a clear path forward with mission and values, it helps align all employees toward one step forward. And when it comes to sustainability, you can see with our values, the integrity to produce food responsibly has sustainability inherently built into that. Individuals matter has sustainability inherently built into it. Sharing what we do well with others, sustainability is there as well, underpinning each of those. Let's see. So our sustainability strategy, we actually just launched our latest sustainability report, which you can find at whitewave.com/CSR, and that has many, many pages where you can learn more about our programs. But in a nutshell, we really believe that we need to take a holistic approach to sustainability. That includes cultivating a responsible food system, which is about embedding sustainability in every product, all the way upstream, working with our suppliers in sustainable agriculture through manufacturing. It also is about better options for our customers so they can thrive in selling our products and having unique offerings for their consumers, as well as directly to our consumers. So we believe in transparent labeling. We believe in educating consumers and customers through our products and providing better choices. So this could be things like non-GMO options or organic options, and just clear and transparent labeling on the front of packs so consumers know what they're getting. We also have a major platform in sustainability around empowering employees, and this includes inspiring engagement and positive change through developing strong communities, strong outreach programs, and strong education and internal programs. On the environmental side, we have a set of targets, and I put a snapshot here around some of our core areas, so energy, greenhouse gas emissions, waste to landfill, and water. And what you can see is we've been doing this for quite some time, since 2006. And from 2006 to 2013, we have some pretty significant progress made. What you'll see is from 2013 to 2015, we're going in the wrong direction in a few areas. And this is really driven by the ever-changing climate of our business. We are the fastest growing food company in North America. We also acquired 5 businesses over this period from 2013 to 2015. So when you are doing footprinting and acquiring new businesses, there are sometimes challenges that come with that. For example, bringing in the agricultural business, we now have a water footprint that is a whole new world to us in terms of agriculture water, especially in regions that experience drought like California, which is where the majority of our greens are coming from. We approach engagement from a kind of a triple E approach. So what we're really looking at is engaged employees, enabled with an environment that supports productivity and performance, and that also energizes them so they want to come to work and they know what's expected of them. Definitely clear that companies with higher engagement scores have higher operating margins, and we've seen that historically. I think research shows over the last 10 years that operating margins can be as much as 3 times higher when you have successful sustainability engagement. So our platform is really built upon both measuring and understanding our employee engagement, and then on the flip side, putting it into action. So we've got a couple of methods that we do that. One is we have surveys. So we do employ outside third-party organizations who come in and help us survey and understand where our employees are at around sustainable engagement as a whole. And this includes targeted questions around our mission, our values, and our sustainability and values and action programs. We do one major survey every other year with surveys interspersed, either per department or however we want to break them up so we can get more targeted information. We have two main platforms for our programs. One called Values in Action, which I'll talk more about, and the other one really focused on learning and education, the Learning for Life platform. When it comes to the education platform, communications and education are key. So what I put up here is a few snapshots on we're really nailing our corporate branding here, so you can see everything starts to have the same look and feel. But we do specific sustainability newsletters that go to every single individual, and if they are plant manufacturing employees, we actually print them and put them in the break rooms and on the bulletin boards. But we do quarterly newsletter, which can include success stories, projects in progress, updates around our sales group and what they're doing to connect on sustainability. So really keeping with the sustainability theme, but being targeted in ensuring we're spreading information and educating employees on what's going on in sustainability as much as possible. On the right side, what you see is our infographic that we issue annually, and that's actually got our annual results around what I showed you previously, energy, waste, and water, and it's also got programs that are really impactful and results. Our VIA results are there, and you can see employee volunteer hours, commuter miles, and corporate donations for the year. The next slide is around learning and development offerings. So what we have is a whole set of probably close to 100 opportunities that people can register for in terms of learning and development, but they range from typical HR type courses, such as valuing our differences or productivity focused, leadership focused, but we also have developed some sustainability focused courses that are online. They have voiceover, they have live links in them, and we have Sustainability 101 and Water 101. We have a Waste 101 and a Waste 102, and we're continuing to develop these. It's challenging because they become outdated somewhat quickly, but we're certainly working to grow that program. So basically, it's a approach that says what is sustainability to the company? Why is it important? Why should it be important to you as an individual, an employee of the company? And why should it be important to you as an individual just in your own household? Why should you conserve water, and how can you conserve water, for example? And then as it applies to the organization and our values and targets. The VIA program, we refer to as VIA, it's Values in Action, is really about encouraging and empowering employees to get involved and get active. So this is focused on inside and outside the office. We want it to align with our mission and values, but we also pride ourselves in rewarding people for doing what they love, even if it's not a direct alignment. So we have a lot of people who love volunteering at pet shelters and those types of things, and that might not be a direct one-for-one line up to our mission, but it still fits into the program because they are fulfilling their personal engagement goals. So the program really focuses on promoting volunteerism, community involvement, education, engaging employees, and recognizes and rewards employees for their contributions. So let's see. So we've got company-wide programs such as Share What We Do Well Month. So we spend the entire month of October setting up and making available volunteer opportunities. And you can see from the stats there up on the page, we have remarkable participation rates because when you're saying, come to work, we'll pay you, and then we'll put you on a bus and take you to a volunteer site, it makes it very easy for people to engage. We also have a program around lunchtime takeovers where we'll pick a sustainability topic and pick a local community leader, such as Eric Lombardi, who is the executive director for EcoCycle, and he'll come in and talk about recycling, why it's important, why it's a global issue, and what you can do. And so we provide free lunch for the entire company and have them come in and listen to a great speaker and hopefully come away more educated. A few more photos and fun things in there like yoga, fitness classes that we offer across the company. CrossFit is really big here in Colorado. And so we also have Bike to Work Day. We sponsor Venus to Miles. So lots of opportunities there. Where I wanted to just spend my last minute or two is on the VIA tracker. So We think it's really important for employees to do all of this, but as a company, how do we show value back to either our shareholders or our customers? And how can I say to you all, our employees volunteered 15,000 hours? Well, the way we can do this is we actually set up an internal tracking system. So you can see a screenshot here. It's intranet only, so internal only. Employees can go on, they can select an activity. They can set goals on the right side. You can set personal goals, you can set department goals, and you can set company goals. And then if you go to the next slide, you can see a little bit of a closer zoom in on what that looks like. So if I selected volunteering in the first one and said I volunteered my time to host a webinar, I would get 50 points awarded for that. And if I've selected biking or walking to work, that I traveled 12 miles twice in the month of March, I get points awarded for that. At the end of the year, WhiteWave tallies all the points. We pick the leaders in most volunteer hours, most miles biked, and we actually give awards, not only for the leaders, but for every single person who participates at any point in the VIA program and takes the time to log their commitments. They are rewarded with either funds to our company cafe, or we try to keep them sustainability focused, so gift cards to REI or natural foods like markets like Whole Foods, and really make it a program where people feel empowered to give back, they feel incentivized to give back, but really we get the best benefit as a company because we can talk about all the great things our employees are doing as well. So that's what I've got for you today. Definitely excited to see if you've got any questions for me, but with that, I will turn it over to Nikki.
All right, thank you so much, Deanna. This is Caitlin just jumping back in so that I can introduce Nikki as well. So Nikki Dixon Foley has been the customer service manager at Westpaw Design for 3 years and has come to Westpaw with an extensive background in education and organizational leadership development. She's one of a 3-person customer service team that works diligently to exceed customer expectations to create outstanding customer experiences for all of Westpaw Design's clients. And in the past 3 years, she has also had the opportunity to work in tandem with the core leadership team at Westpaw to begin a grassroots effort to increase employee engagement and satisfaction for Westpaw employees. So she is a perfect person to be presenting to us today on Westpaw's employee engagement efforts. So Nikki, you can go ahead and unmute yourself, and I will go ahead and advance slides for you so that we don't run into any glitches.
Great. Thank you, Caitlin, so much. Thank you for allowing me to be here today. I'm very excited. I was approached by Spencer Williams to give a little presentation here about our employee engagement, and I'm super excited to be here to do that. So let's begin with just a brief overview. You can go ahead and advance that slide there, Caitlin. Just a brief overview of kind of the things I will talk about today. It's perfect. Deanna had some perfect examples. Going to piggyback on a lot of that, a lot of those ideas, and just give you a kind of a nice, well-rounded glimpse into Westpaw and why we are so focused on employee engagement as well. I'll start out with a little bit of our history in case you aren't familiar with us. I'll follow that with the approaches that we have taken to employee engagement, and then, of course, finish that off with a bit of the measurements and the rewards that we watch here at Westpaw for employee engagement. So go ahead and continue on there. So if you aren't familiar with Westpaw, we do manufacture pet goods, dog toys, cat toys, beds, and blankets, and those sort of things. We've been in business for 20 years this August, so we're very excited to celebrate that. As some of you may know, we manufacture 100% of our products right here in our home of Montana, which we're quite proud of. We have been very successful in developing and growing our teams. We're now at a 75-person employee group here, and we have actually highly engaged individuals. In 2015, we were the Montana State Employer of Choice, and we've also been selected as one of the 25 best companies deemed by Small Giants of Forbes magazine. And some of you may know we were certified B Corp in 2013, and we were Montana's first benefit corporation in 2015. So that's a nice glimpse of where we've been and where we're going. And now I'd just like to take a few moments to address why we focus on employee engagement here at Westpaw Design. One of the 9 key elements in business sustainability is truly found in the employee practices. That, of course, includes things such as what we do, what are the processes we have that promote personal and professional development and employee empowerment. It all really can be summed up in our vision and our purpose here at Westpaw Design. Our vision is that we do envision a world where business success is friendly to the people and the planet, as well as our purpose, where we are a transformative global business leader that unleashes our people's greatest talents to create amazing pet products. Now, the one thing, just kind of a nice note to see here in our vision and our purpose is that it really revolves around people. And I think that is where we begin our incredible grassroots effort of employee engagement. So just to be sure that we're all speaking the same language here, Westpaw Design really thinks of an engaged employee as an employee that works with passion and has a profound connection with their organization, their team members, and their goals of the company. If we were to look at what a not engaged employee, you can see there that we might think of them as they come to get their paycheck. They show up, they do their work, but that's kind of as far as they get. And of course, I'm sure we've all had experiences with the actively disengaged, or the employees that are there to almost spread their misery onto everybody else. Of course, our focus is on the engaged employee and moving the not engaged into engaged employees. So I just want to take a few moments now to talk about a few of our approaches that we have got here going in our engagement field. Our first and foremost is just our foundation. Where did this even start? So let's take a look at that, our foundation. As Caitlin said, we really do have a grassroots approach here. We are learning as we go, but we're taking a lot of time and effort to make sure that our employees have opportunities to become as engaged as possible. This really began to take root around 2011 when Spencer Williams had just, really wanted to focus on creating our company values and begin really growing our company culture. So we got together as an entire group. We spent a half day in a workshop led by some of our local professionals here, and we really started to root around and decide what our core values are. You can see our core values are there: integrity, accountability. We're tenacious, we're friendly, we're healthy, and we always want continuous improvement. And this is what we as a group, as an employee group, decided were our core values. You can see a group of our employees painting the core values there on the wall. We also decided that we needed to have employees help us decide what engagement looked like. We wanted our employee group to feel a part of that process. So we actually put together an employee engagement workshop where we got together again as an entire group for about an hour and a half and started peeling the layers back of what is an engaged employee. We got direct feedback from our groups. We were able to discuss what our company culture really feels like, what it looks like, what we want our coworkers and partners to be active in as a company, and it also gave us an opportunity to reflect on our personal engagement. One of the major things that this engagement workshop really built for us is it helped us really identify what was important to us as a team. You can go ahead and advance that slide there. And so what we did once we had a really good basis of information fed a lot by our employees, we decided we needed to be a company that puts this engagement to support our business needs. And so we've taken a couple approaches to do that. One of the ways that we really focus our business need and incorporate the engagement of our employees is we involve all of our employees in what we call high involvement planning, or HIP planning. This happens a year, and what it does is we again have the opportunity to identify what our strategic goals, our financial goals are, as well as our company and culture goals are throughout the year. That is turned over to us in small teams. We get together and we decide how we can help meet these strategic goals as individuals as well as groups. It's a great way to be very inclusive for our employees in the strategic planning of our business. And it also gives our employees a great insight to the budgeting process, which is very important for us to be financially sustainable in the long run. Again, this just really helps our employees feel like they are involved in the business. The second piece that we also do to help with the business sustainability end is we participate in the great game of business inspirations of open book management. Here is a couple shots of photos of us as a group. We get together twice a month to peel back the layers of our financials in the business. This is an incredible, empowering way for us as employees to understand what's on the books, and it gives us an opportunity to identify places where we can do better or places where we may see some waste that we'd like to cut out, giving, again, the opportunity for employees to be involved in the overall strategic goals and plans of the company is another way that we really focus on our engagement. And continuing on, kind of our final look at how we engage our folks is we really spend a lot of time encouraging our people to grow, and we do that in a few ways. One of the ways is we take it in our team focus. We were inspired by some of our information that we were gleaning out of our B Corp certifications, and we decided that as a group we wanted to have 3 committees here in this building that people had the opportunity to be a part of. Our environmental committee, our community committee, and as well as our pause committee, and that is essentially it's for the betterment of our employees. Each employee has an opportunity to jump on board with these committees and have their voice heard and finding ways to be sustainable. We also focus a lot of our efforts not only on the team as well as individual focus. One of the great lessons we learned from our employee engagement seminar, our workshop, was that our employees wanted more opportunities to grow and have leadership training. So we are currently in a pilot program, just brand new and just starting, that will give a pilot group training in our core values, as well as lean manufacturing, as well as accountability and what that means to us as a group. And again, this offers individuals to really leverage their skills and contribute to business sustainability. And finally, I'd like to just kind of wrap up here very quickly with how we measure and the rewards we get. We measure, of course, much as Deanna's does in surveys. We are very prone to really keep an eye on the heartbeat of our employees through employee surveys. We started a baseline survey in 2013 that really helped us identify our strengths and weaknesses. It really showed us areas of communication, culture, and compensation that we needed to improve and work on. And we've done that over the last few years. And in 2015, we resurveyed and saw 28% improvement in employee approvals towards the measures we've put in place for that. So that helps us know that we're doing the right things. And finally, one way that we do have rewards for our engagement, much like Deanna has said, we do a lot of fun things just for the fun and the culture of the company, but we also participate in a gain sharing program, which is our self-funded bonus program. We get together as a group, we decide what we need to be sustainable financially as a company, and then we set a benchmark above and beyond that. When we hit that as a group, we have a payout each quarter when we are able to achieve that benchmark goal. So it is a nice way to reward us financially for the engagement and the things that we do as a group. So I'll turn it back over. Just a final conclusion here. You know, Westpaw Design really focuses on our engagement through building our communities, building opportunities to invest in our company, and really truly building opportunities to build up our people. And so with that, Caitlin, I'll turn it back over to you and happy to answer questions if we have any.
All right. Thank you so much, Nikki and Deanna, for sharing your stories around how you're engaging with employees. I think it was really interesting to bring together both a large company and who's working on corporate sustainability and also a smaller company who's really looking at a grassroots effort and how to engage employees that way. So it was really interesting for me to get the perspective of both. We do have a couple of questions. So I wanted to jump in and ask you guys a question about challenges. So, I think a lot of times in webinars, a lot of companies share what they're feeling very successful in and what's working. But I guess it's also really helpful for many of our members to learn, hey, what was a challenge that you faced, and did you have to let go of something, or did you kind of pivot in your strategy? So maybe Deanna, I'll start with you, and can you tell us maybe one of your big challenges with your employee engagement program and how you've addressed it?
Sure. I think the two biggest challenges are going to be, one, making the case for a budget, and then hopefully getting that budget to increase year over year, because being able to, employees certainly appreciate and like free things and incentives, and being able to provide that definitely takes budget. And even carving out the resource time to set up a lot of these programs, goes back to budget availability. So I think that's definitely one challenge. But I believe that making a strong case and really using the data that shows that an engaged workforce is a more productive workforce will work to anyone's and everyone's advantage. And then I think the second thing is a little bit harder to overcome, but is met with just being consistent, being ongoing, don't go silent, is keeping it in the forefront of people's mind. The biggest survey response that, type of question that I hear is, we all love the program. So it's, did you attend it? No. Would you attend it in the future? Yes. Do you want it to continue happening? Yes. We always hear people say, yes, I love this program and I want it to stick around. But when we say, did you make time away from your desk to go to the lunchtime takeover or, to show up, it's, 50-50 if they were able to make it or not. So providing lots of opportunities and continuing to try to get people to take the time for us is really important. It's in other cultures, especially smaller ones. I imagine if you have a smaller workforce and you can get engagement that way, that's really helpful. But I think those are the two challenges that I'm faced with.
Thanks, Deanna, for shedding some light on a couple of challenges that you faced. And I think it's always hard to kind of maintain momentum over time with employees, because frequently they have a strong drive and they want to participate in these things. But when it comes down to actually stepping away and making it happen, it's kind of a repeat story that we hear from our members as well. So thanks for addressing that. And then Nikki, let me pass it over to you as well. Are there some challenges that you can talk about?
Sure, I would, I absolutely agree with Deanna and echo a lot of what she had said. It is hard to make time. It is hard to make sure that you do have a budget to engage your employees. One of the things, the challenges I think we do face here at WestPaw, being a smaller community, is that we very much want our employees' input, and a lot of times we get so much input, it can be challenging to blaze a path and keep on focus. And so I think it takes a lot of conversation, a lot of decisions to be made, and still move forward with strategies that engage our employees and don't put them off. And I think that can be a challenge if somebody feels that their voice maybe wasn't heard the way they had intended it to be. So yeah, absolutely. I think both large and small companies face very similar challenges, but it is just worth it to stick with it and keep moving forward.
Thanks, Nikki. I can hear that too. Certainly, if you open up an outlet to get a bunch of feedback, it's also figuring out, hey, how do we actually address all of this feedback, and how do we also make sure that we stay strategic in the way that we're addressing it. So thank you both for your time today. I really appreciated hearing the inside story from both of your organizations, so I appreciate your time. And this webinar recording will be available on our Resource Center and our website, and it will also be sent out personally through email to everyone who registered and attended today. So I am going to go ahead and sign off. Thank you again to Nikki at WestPaw Design and Deanna at White Wave Foods.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye for now.